Good evening, all attendees.
Good evening.
Is my screen visible and am I audible enough?
Yes.
Thank.
Your voice is breaking.
So, uh, um, Niran,
Yeah, Vallabha.
yeah. So, if anybody, please accept this invitation. So
Yeah,
there,
just check your
session two.
internet. Your voice is breaking very badly.
Okay. Uh, wait a second. Is it okay now? Able to hear?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay. There was an issue with the earphone, I guess. So we'll start with the session. So in this session zero, this session zero will complement to the document that we have provided in the groups. So before starting with the session zero, I would like to ask you a few questions. So how many of you are interested in technology, interested in building applications, especially web applications, Android applications? I just wanted few inputs from your side so that we can have a very good interactive session. So please someone unmute your mic and respond. Please share your views with respect to technology, with respect to the application development especially. What do you think about it? Hello? Someone? Am I audible enough? So in this session, what we are going to do is we're going to understand how we can go further with respect to study jam session. So we have two tracks. So as you can see in the document, we have two tracks. That is track one. Track one has 6 pathways, and the track one name is YouTube programming, and track two for their programming experience. So we have two tracks, track one and track two. Track one is for the students who don't have any knowledge in programming. They just need to have a few basic skills. So the first basic skill that you need to have is math skills. Just you must be knowing about basic mathematical skills such as arithmetic operations and logical operations, etc. And you must be having few computer basic computer skills like how to open for example, if you have a basic skill about how to open a browser, surf the internet, and open a image video. If you have that much basic skill, I guess you are eligible enough to take the track one. So track 1 has 6 pathways and it has 6 earnable badges. Okay. So what do you learn in track 1? So track 1 is basically for the people who have no knowledge in Android Studio, especially in programming. So here you get to learn about the Kotlin. Kotlin is again a programming language similar to Python, C, C++, etc. And you create your first Android app here, and you will be learning about layouts. So in Android app development, something which excites the developer, or something which excites any student when they are new to Android app development, is layouts, building the front end GUI. So you'll be learning about how to add various buttons, text weaves, edit text. Text weave is nothing but if you want to uh, you know like show something to the user in a form of a text, then we call it as a text view. And if you are actually taking user input, then you probably want to use edit text. So in edit text, there are of different types. You can what content you need from the user, and you can add buttons because buttons are important in any app. So if you want to navigate from one page to another page, in the general normal, I mean, if you want to navigate from one page to another page, probably you might be clicking on any of the buttons. So there you will be learning about how to implement a button and navigate stuffs. And as I said, you will be learning about how to give a user, how to get a user input, and also how to display a scrollable list. So these are the topics that are included in track 1. Since the track 1 is not yet completed, right now you have only 2 units. So by completing these 2 units, probably you will have a very good basic knowledge about how to go with Android app development. And also you will be getting motivation to take up track 2 and complete the track 2. So track 2 is designed for students who have prior programming experience. So expertise of object oriented language is not required. Still, if you have it well enough, uh, if we just know what a class is, what an instance is, how to create an instance, and how to give getters and setters, basic stuffs. These are all very basics in object oriented programming. So if you have basic knowledge of it, you can actually swim through the course. And you should be familiar with GitHub. You have two types of, if you are a Windows user, you have two ways of using GitHub. So using the first way is using GitHub desktop, that is not included in the course. You can check out GitHub desktop, where you can actually create a repository, delete a repository, update a repository, and add commit the files and merge the files, clone the files, etc. If you are not familiar with command line tools, you can use GitHub desktop. Or if you are a good programmer, or if you have good knowledge with respect to GitHub, then probably you will be using GitHub commands. And this is something very basic, how to use an IDE. I don't think I need to specify anything on this particular point. So this track has 10 pathways and 10 earnable badges. So here Kotlin cons again. Before you take up any Android applications course where Kotlin is used, definitely they will be teaching you something with basic with respect to Kotlin, because without Kotlin you can't learn Android app development if you are using Kotlin in it. I think this is pretty straightforward. So in this Kotlin cons, you'll be learning about Kotlin programming language with a series of exercises from printing statements, looping, conditional statements, object-oriented programming, and etc. So once you are done with this Kotlin cons, then you'll be building your very first app. And then you'll be building an interactive app. Interactive app is something like getting user input and stuff. And you will be learning more about layouts. So there are different types of layouts: linear layout, relative layout, and constraint layout, etc. And you'll be learning about navigation. So how to navigate from one particular activity. For example, if you think you open any app, okay, when you open an app, you call it as you're on some page. So when you click a button, what happens, you're navigating to another page. So this is not actually a page or anything. It's all about activities. And so how do you navigate from one activity to another activity? How do you navigate from fragment to another fragment? You will be learning about it. You'll be also learning about architecture components. You'll be learning about databases and recycler wave. You can set up MySQL, SQLite database in your Android phone and store the data. And you will also be using recycler wave to use a infinite scrollable model. And you'll be also learning to connect your application to the internet and upload the data and download the data. And you'll be learning about repository and work manager. And you will be learning about design for everyone. Design for everyone is something, here in design for everything, you'll be learning about material design. So how you can use material design to develop a very beautiful UI for your application. So no matter how uh, good your application is, if your application doesn't have even a pretty much good UI, I don't think so people will feel it as a better application. For example, if you compare an application built by a government based sources, like for example, there are many, I don't want to specify them, but if you can see, they're very basic enough. They are concentrated more on the content. So when you look at other when you look at other Play Store apps, they have very good, elegant, beautiful UIs. So they will be using material design for their UI. So once you have selected any particular track, it can be track one or track two. You need to get started with it, right? So you can get started by clicking on the links. For example, I will be showing you a demo of how to go with it. So track one, I'll just show a demo with respect to track one. So we have, as I said, we have two units, and the unit one has six, I guess. No, yeah, four, and the rest second unit has six. So I will think. I mean, let me take, which one should I take? Okay, I'll take this. So as you can see here, there are 5 tracks. So actually, I have completed all of them, but uh, I will take you through it. So first, what they have said, classes and object instances in Kotlin. So first thing is you need to create a Kotlin program that generates random numbers to simulate rolling dice. So first they're going to teach you what the program is to develop the backend. For example, here you're developing a rolling dice app. So for rolling dice app, you need some algorithm in the backend. So they are going to teach you a simple algorithm how you can generate the different numbers uh, out of 1 to 6. So every time, every iteration, it provides you a different result. So how you're going to develop that backend simple algorithm. So that's they're going to teach you here. So for example, I have started the code lab session. Before you begin, you will be shown how to, how the app would look like, and they have given you a very precise prerequisites that you must be having, and you can start. So here you can see this is the main function. So they are, what happened? So you can, so here you can see, right? So you can read the content that they have provided here. So they have given a very precise instructions how you have to go through the session. I mean, go through the code lab. So you have to perform. You have to read all these. They are very simple and easy. So once you are done with it, you can go for the next step. So step by step, you will be learning about how to, complete the session. I mean, to complete the particular code lab. So by completing all the how much is there here? Yeah, so there are 5 steps. So out of which this is optional. Videos are always optional. So out of these five, I mean, there are four code labs. Once you are done with the four code labs, you'll be done with your application. Uh, so you can share it with your friends and family that you have developed an application, a professional application where, I mean, sorry, you are developing an application professionally by coding it. So you can also, to get the badges, I mean, to get the certificates, you need the badges. So to get the badges, what you need to do is you have to take the quiz. The quizzes are very easy. For example, which of the following is an example of a class? So if you can see a class, a car class that has a make and a model and can be driven, yes, it is a class. This is also a class. So if you see here, everything is a class. So a song class which has that has lyrics, yes, it is a class. It is also class. It is also class. So like this, you have to answer all the questions here provided here. So once you're done with this, you have to submit the answers. So yeah, so if you submit out of the 9 questions, you need to answer minimum of 7. Like it varies as per the number of questions provided here. So once you're done, you'll be given an option to go for the next pathway. And also you should keep on checking. I don't think you need to keep checking every time, but just to be sure enough that you have got your badges, you can go to the you will be provided a link to check your badges whether it is provided to you or not. You can click on it and you can see it in the another tab. Since I did not complete the test, so I got 1 out of 9, so I won't be getting the option to view my uh, badges. But still, but since I have completed this session, I mean this particular task, whatever pathway, I have received the badge. So this is how you need to work with respect to the pathways. You need to complete all the pathways in order to get the certificate. And you will be submitting an application developed by you. And the you can I don't think you need to do how whatever they have said. I mean, in the sense, like, if they have said you need to use only this particular color at this particular button or something like that, I don't think you need to do it that way. Also, you can also Google and look for different ways of doing the same thing, getting my point. So by doing this, you will not only learn what's been given here, you will be putting your step ahead in learning other stuffs also, like which are not uh, uh, explained in the code lab. So by showing your creativity and the sessions provided, I mean, and the pathways provided here, you will be always developing a better and beautiful application. So in this process, definitely people will feel stuck somewhere. People will definitely have issues with respect to their learning, especially during the tough points. I mean, tough points in the sense, like uh, tough concepts, to be specific. So for example, for a track 1 student, uh, the first 5 pathways will be very easy for that person. So sixth pathway, here you will be using recycler weave. Recycler weave is a concept that needs to be explained by someone. I don't You can always learn it, but still, if you have any issues with that particular but few of them will be having issues with respect to recycler weave. So that is I identify it as one of the uh, intermediate concept that uh, you someone needs to explain you, or you must have a you must go through various articles, YouTube videos to understand it. So in coming to track 2, there are certain places where one person needs to take up a session and explain what that particular topic is, so you will be understanding better about it. So we have identified few, and we will be taking 3 sessions. This is session 0. Session 0 is not I don't think in this session 0 you'll be learning anything, because like this is just an introduction program where you'll be getting to know how to go through the this particular Android study jam, and how we'll be going further with respect to this Android study jam. So the upcoming 3 sessions are very important. So you need to attend all the 3 sessions, so that you'll uh, always be in a better understanding with respect to the Android app development, because there are certain points where you will be stuck, or you'll be into hurdles. So if you make time, and if you make time and schedule things properly, such that you will have enough of time for attending the session. The next upcoming 3 sessions are 2 hours each. So 2 hours is enough for one person to explain. And one more thing that I need to specify out here is that, so when you are attending the next upcoming 3 sessions, please make sure your Android Studio is running on the uh, make sure your Android Studio is running, and also your Teams app is running, so that uh, we'll be having a two-way communication. If you have any issues, you can also share your screen, and we'll try to rectify it out. And coming to session one is concentrated on we haven't finalized it yet, but I would like to give you I would like to tell you that session one will be concentrated on the people who are doing track one and track two as well, because layouts is something that is common for both the track one and track two. Probably the content will be different, but almost it will be same. So what I am thinking is, in track one, in session one, we'll be concentrating on complete 6 topics that's been mentioned for track one. So in track one, will be sorry in session one, we'll be doing from introduction to Kotlin and till display or scrollable list. So this will be our schedule for track one. And coming to this will be the schedule for session one. Coming to session two and session three, we haven't planned yet. So that will be that session two and session three will probably depend upon the participants' inputs. For example, we are planning to take the participants' inputs, like where they are feeling difficult. So we are going to take that particular portion, and we are going to use explain it in the uh, sessions. Session number 2 and session number 3. So I would recommend track 2 people also to participate for the session 1, just because it's been in session 1 I'm targeting for track 1 people. It doesn't mean that track 2 people need not be. It's not for. You don't need to think that it's not for track 2 people. You can even track 2 people can participate in the session 1 and get to know how to go through this particular session. I mean, particular portions. So, and one more thing that I need to specify is that debugging is not a part. Debugging is not something that one person can teach you. A professor or a developer or a YouTube video or any article can teach you how to program, but nobody can teach you how to debug. So debug is something that comes out of your own experience. So how do you experience? When you take out your PC, type the code, try to get the errors, try to rectify it on your own. You get an error, copy the main point, go to Google, search it. You will be getting a few Stack Overflow website results. Understand what they have done. So try to implement the same. So in this process, you will learn a lot. So sometimes you may not get the right resources, or sometimes probably you may not get some ideas how to go ahead with respect to that particular error. You can always post the same question in our group. So since a group everybody has an access to post the messages and all, so you can always post your question there. People who have already done that particular point, who have already done that particular program or that particular step, would always be ready to help you out. So make use of all the resources that's been provided by DSC and Stack Overflow, and especially complete Google, and try to learn it. So this completes the introduction to the Android Study Jam session. And So as I said, session one will be soon. We will intimate the information about it to you guys as soon as possible, and we'll be having 3 to 4 days of gap between each and every session, so that uh, you can actually try out the same. Also, SEMEN examinations are approaching, so you need to be very precise with respect to your schedules. And so one you need to plan for your SEMEN examination. At the same time, you need to cover the Android study jams. So Android study jams is not something that's been imposed to you, right? So it's not imposed to you. It's something that you have chosen it. You have chosen your interest. So your interest lies here. So it's the motivation that you keep in yourself to try and learn the application development. So I just saw one person asking a question. Sir, we can use Java? Yes, definitely you can use Java. Uh, but this
But
particular
with the issue with using Java would be that you would not be qualified, or Java's more of a complicated procedure here. So we recommend you to learn Kotlin because it's the future. There is no point of learning something that's there since a long time. So if you take the future, and Kotlin is going to be more prominent, more easier, and it's used in a lot of more other places. So it's better if you learn Java, Kotlin, even though if you know Java. Anyways, Kotlin and Java are kind of like siblings. So it's better if you learn Kotlin, and we are focusing on Kotlin here. So all the sessions or whatever the courses, what is going to be happening, it's going to be only on Kotlin. So it's better you do it on Kotlin.
Yes, as Niran said, so in this particular all the code lab sessions, Kotlin will be used. Java is no way used. And also, you have an option to, if you, for example, you create a particular activity in Kotlin programming language, and you create another activity in Java. So you always have in this interoperability mode, where you can, integrate Java and Kotlin together wherever you want, and it works perfectly fine. So this is an introduction to Android study jams. Hope uh, you will be motivated throughout the timeline. And the timeline, coming to the timeline is from November 25th to January 25th. So you have exactly more than 2 months. I mean, you have 2 months of time. Okay, so you have 2 months of time. Since you and I think 2 months of time is enough to complete the both the tracks, and also you can learn more. And one more thing, solution challenge 2021 is coming up. I won't tell you much about it. If you want, you can Google it out, or you just need to wait for some more time, so that we only will be revealing the stuffs to you. Or if you are very curious about it, you can always Google it. So thank you guys. And before me concluding this particular session, I would like to ask a few, I would like to take up inputs from you guys. Please someone unmute yourself and ask any questions if you have. And also in the beginning of the session, I asked one particular question, that what do you think about Android app development? Nobody answered it. If you still if you think you can answer, please unmute. Yeah, so first question is, what do you think about Android app development? So how do you uh, look yourself with respect to this part? How do you think you can use an Android app development to build the future? How What do you think about Android app development? Someone please unmute yourself and answer. All right, so do you have any questions with respect to Android study jams?
If you have any questions, just put it in the chat box. You'll just reply back or something.
I am comfortable with C and C++. Can I start with track 2? So if you say you are comfortable with C++, if you have experience with object oriented programming, the concept lies same almost everywhere in all the programming languages. If you think you have a good grip of oops, you can definitely start with track 2.
or just go through track 1 and then you can change I mean you can try to complete track 2.
It's very simple here in DAC, guys. As long as you put in efforts to learn something, you can definitely do it. Because we are not gonna, start in the day one and ask you to create a product for some MNC in the first day. So we are gonna take you step by step. The 3 sessions, what Vallabha said beforehand, it's mainly, it's not a compulsory session what you're doing. But since although all the answers are given step by step through videos, lectures in the uh, portal what you would have seen before, still we are conducting it because most of you are beginners and you would need some assistance here or there, all those geeky concepts or those terms which you are not aware of, or these 101 different keywords there. So all these are confusing, right? So if someone teaches you live to live, wherein you can get your questions answered very quickly, so that's way better. So even if you do not know any language, and even if your Kotlin is the first language you're learning, I personally would tell it you can do it as long as you put in some efforts. It's not impossible at all. Even, I mean, come on, guys, when a 7th standard kid can do a app, why can't you guys, right? You guys are engineering students, you guys are in a college. So as long as you have the interest, you can definitely do it. That's what I'd say.
And few more things that I need to put it. Please make sure that you have an Android phone with you so that you can actually debug the application not only by using an emulator. You can also try it on your phones, so we can learn in a better manner. And I guess that's it with respect to this particular session. Anything else? Any other questions? And coming to one more thing, if I just give you a simple motivation why you need to learn app development compared to other other technologies. Let me tell you straightforward. As you see, um, what is that? If you see, if you can consider this particular statistics. So if you look at CS in a CS degree, if you look at the people who have got a CS degree or an engineering degree, most of them will be web developers. So we have you know majority of them are web developers. So compared to app developers, the numbers is pretty light. I mean less. So since there is more demand for app development, and right now, even though internet is there and web applications are running everywhere, and web developers are in need everywhere, but still everybody uses Android phones. Everybody uses nobody goes to website and check for their content. Always everybody looks for a Android application. No matter whether it's their startup, or it's their particular brand, or it's their particular shopping cart. I mean, a shopping website or anything. So Android applications, Android developer will always have a demand in the industry compared to web developers, because like you can see the supply and demand. So Android has a more weightage compared to web developers. So I guess this much motivation is enough for you. And even if as Niran said, if a kid can develop an application, why can't you? So I would like to conclude this particular session 0. I hope we can meet in session 1 and get started with working with Android applications and Android Studio. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Please make sure that you have Android Studio installed with all the other necessary plugins, because all the other 3 sessions are going to be very technical, and you will need Android Studio definitely in order to do it. If you do not have an Android phone, please make sure you have an emulator installed. Now, what's an emulator? Google it. So if you have an iPhone, you need to use an emulator on your PC. If you have an Android, cool. Try to connect it using your PC and try to check out how you can connect it using your developer mode on your Android device. So Vala will probably taking you through all of that during the next session. Until then, make sure you install it. Bye, guys.
Stay safe.
Thank
Stay
you.
at home. Bye bye. Somebody unmuted